Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of the Rick Grimes Report. This will be, as the title obviously no doubtably gave it away, this would be a video on stormenTV again. New information has come out, and I wanted to be the one to give you what I have, plus what I've found throughout the community. We've all come together and we've pulled this together. Credits for all the videos will be down in the description. But I'm going to go ahead and play this, but I will pose this one question to you first, ladies and gentlemen. When you say I'm following somebody with my mouse, when you say I'm following somebody, are you leading the person with your mouse, or are you just guiding it behind it, tracking where he's going or where he's been? Maybe even in line with it, if you're so inclined to do so, but somewhat askewed in the rear or the lag position while following it. Is what following is you're following someone else. But in this case, you'll see that the cursor is actually leading the target, which in a very specific distance. Is it as accurate as a reticle is? No, because it's a cursor, so it's very tough to tell where the pinpoint would be, but it's following it, and the distance remains constant. It remains the same. And it is, in fact, pretty clear that it has very similar comparisons to what bullet drop compensation and leading your shots, the offset language that these hacks actually have, which compensate for distance, bullet drop, bullet speed, all that stuff, and place the shots in a place that will hit the character in a run motion away. Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the video. And I thank those who have participated in making these videos. The community thanks you. I thank you. And let's go. And here's the lock on. This is funny. Boop.
Mustache, a mustache, a mustache. Now we both have said mustache, a mustache, a mustache. If you've only got a mustache.
This clip is a clip where it was sent to me multiple times, and I didn't know what quite to do with it because I don't know what's happening in the video clip. It does seem very strange. I can tell he locks onto this guy at the building in the front. A lot of people are not talking about the lock on in this building in the front where he two taps this individual here. They're talking about when he gets to the top of this piece here. We'll see it there. You'll see it sways down. It just literally sways down into his head. He overcompensates and sways once he hits the button. Headshot every time.
No, dude. What you get?
And this is where it happens, okay? There's going to be an issue. You're going to listen to it. He's going to take his hand off the mouse. He's going to make a click on the board, on his keyboard somewhere. And then all of a sudden, this guy starts doing some spaz out piece. He hits something on his keyboard with his left hand. Causes it to spaz out like it's trying to target something. It's trying to target, you know, when you right click something, it zooms in. It's trying to zoom in or something. And you're going to watch the nervous reaction. So this is what happens. This is from a guide of what gives away people who are being deceptive and not being honest or truthful. Fidgety fingers. This is an annoying habit. It involves everything from tapping fingers on the table, drumming your hands, clicking mice repeatedly in a unorthodox fashion just because of something happening. And it has to do with dealing with anxiety and stress. This is what he did right afterwards. Then, touching your face. We've all been victim for this. Whenever we're nervous, you touch your face. Another unhygienic nervous habit is face touching. Face touching may be seen as self-pacifying when a person is insecure or hiding something. So, what happens next? Let's take a look. So, now we have fidgety fingers and face touching. All when that piece just happened at the tree. Well, I would say that would be probably a good indicator that he was nervous. And just wanted to let that moment pass. So, he did. And he gave himself away with his gestures and his body language. This next piece of evidence is going to be a video. This is where I show you some imgers. These imgers are going to show the day after the patch, okay, of players, top players of the previous season, and those that are accused of being cheaters post the patch performance, and then the ones that aren't being accused of cheaters and their performances post the patch. Both comparisons both have NA and EU comparisons, so you cannot use it's a different server kind of an excuse. Here we are. We have a imgur from a off the tip line, and this was posted day of the patch after everybody was pretty much concluded. We have one odd shot or one clip or picture rather of Stormen, who wasn't quite finished. Time differentials, obviously, but I do have an updated picture for that one as well. So here's one of Ninja. The title of this was Legit Players on Patch Day, so this is lending to the assumption that all these players appear are legit. The reason why I can give you that information as such is because I don't get any information on these guys at all. I've watched a lot of their stream. I've sat in and talked to other players who watch them, and yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead here and say that these guys legit because we don't get complaints on the tip line for these guys, and if we do, we've debunked them and not posted. So we have, first off, we got Ninja here. Ninja has a 21 kill. That's pretty good, but then again, I expect that from Ninja. He's a professional player. He is very skillful. And he's got a 13 kill, 9th place, but then it tapers down to what we would expect on a patch day is a couple good runs and then a bunch of just sloppy runs, right? I mean, these guys are pros. They were in the top tier, elite. So this is Ninja's. Summit wasn't as successful, but did rack up a couple kill counts on a 6, so that's comparable. And you know, when you don't win and you get 16 kills on 3rd place, that's just bad luck sometimes. But then it tapers off, and it's very similar to a 4, 5, and blah, blah, down to whatever, right? And that's Summit. This is Schaefer. Schaefer has a couple wins under his belt, but they're not of high kill count, so it would lend to the credibility that he's definitely not a cheater, because we've seen cheaters just take this thing to the next level. 13 and 9 kills is reasonable to assume. He's strategic. Victory can be done with 13 and 9 kills. You know, he's obviously a better player than the average player. So, sure. Yeah, and then again, it tapers down. And he's already gold. So, congratulations, Schaefer, on that. That's well played, sir. And then we go to Rogue T-Hump. Well, this guy was mentioned in the video where I have a guy who names T-Hump as a guy who has been supplied cheats. So this is the day after the patch. This is T-Hump, and he's not been able to get a double-digit kill on the day after the patch, and he's bronze. So Rough day for T-Hump there. All right, so we're going to go down to Stormin. Now, this was an incomplete one. He did manage to get, I think, an 11 kill and got to 21st place, but never broke into the top 10. Certainly didn't bust out a teen level kill, like, you know, in the teens, 13, 14, anything up. Didn't hit any 20s, nothing. Okay, so that's Stormin. These guys were, and this is EU. So this is EU, this is NA. So if anybody says, well, it's EU and NA. Oh, okay, all right, I got you. EU and NA. All right, so they're both players that are on the actual list that was mentioned, and both doing bad. We also have Stay Lifted, who has been questionable, top tier of his gaming as of last season. I mean, we're talking 30 kills. This guy was laying out all day long. Couldn't bust out a double kill. All right, and then we have Linden FPS. Linden FPS is also bronze. We also have no double-digit kills, no top 10s, no victories. Wow. Let's go ahead here and say that that's unexpected from these players, but is expected from people like me and those that believe that they are cheating. It's no surprise that after a patch that these guys, we kind of priced Stormin into playing on the day after patch because of all the tweets that I showed of him calling out sick and taking the days off on patches. So he had to play, and it showed that he didn't have a cheat that day. It was quite obvious he didn't have a cheat that day. Were there some issues in the game? Sure, but everybody else had to deal with the same type of issues. And here's the comparison of that final piece that I said was not updated after he ended the stream. This is what he ended up with: 21st, 44th, 45th, and 349s, and a host of other cruddy ones. But this is the guy who was ranked number 6 in the game. I mean, obviously the comparative is just blatant. I mean, he'd win multiple games a day. He doesn't, irregardless. And so, because he had to play on a day his cheat wasn't updated, I believe this is a reflection of that. So, could he bust out some good kills? Yeah, I'm sure he could. But he struggled like everybody else. And because he uses it as a crutch, he can't adjust fast enough to a patch update when he has to use no cheats as opposed to when he has cheats. It's a crutch, and he's using them. Moving on. This was his 28 kill. Let's go back to this. This was his 28 kill. And yeah, this was before the patch. He's busting out first place, 28 kills. After the patch, this. It's a bit off, would you say? Bust out a 28 kill just before the patch. Gets this after the patch. There's another piece of information for you right here. Stormin. This links him to the name Ludwig Storm that I previously put in another video. Stormin was a name he's been using since he claimed that he'd been using it on his CS:GO accounts a ways back. So I decided to take a look at it, and some people were saying, well, see, his account wasn't it's not as old as these accounts. It's older than this stuff. It's like 8 years old. And I get this, okay? But he's been using the Stormin name for quite some time now. You know, we've all known the Master Blaster of Asses. We all know that, you know, we link those other accounts to it. But it is my belief, and without actual proof, but there is no game activity on his account before the transfer date of accounts when he started playing all that stuff again after his banning. Like, there's no information in his account for the one he plays on before that date, before those times. He's got a lot of dead time before that, which means he probably bought the account that was older, which a lot of cheaters do to make their accounts appear authentic because they've had the account for so long, you know. That's what they do. So he's used Stormin forever, and when I said he invented himself again, I may have mistakenly said that, because at the time I did not realize that he actually used this name all the way back then too. So this actually links his name today to his cheating past back then. So that's pretty heavy. So if anybody wants to doubt that, good luck. Here's something that popped up in the emails, is that somebody just got banned for asking why Stormen wasn't streaming yesterday. Why do people do that? Why would someone who is not asking anything outlandish just get banned for asking why he wasn't there? Is it because he's not wanting to have attention drawn to him? Is it because they want to take the attention off of the person? I don't know, but I don't know if that's actually a good policy. Banning your members just for asking a simple question. Doesn't seem like this guy's being belligerent. Moving on. And here we have a video where I want to go ahead and show you the before and after. This is before Stormen. Actually, before the patch. This is the 28 kill game before the patch, and I want to watch the gameplay. You'll see how precise and accurate it is. If you go back and look at his VOD when he was playing it after the patch, you're gonna watch how just pathetic and bad he looked. It was just bad. I don't know what happened to him, man. Ugh. So we're gonna go ahead and just watch this. Yeah, this is the guy that was potatoing after patch. There it is. Headshot. This is also the guy performing very well before the patch. I mean, look how precise and crisp his shots are. Look how sharp he's playing. And not missing anything. Watch this shot, guys. Before the patch. Boop. Headshot midair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And all I got to say is, when you look at this, does this make sense to you? Should this be what stormenTV is when he plays day after the patch? Or should he be more along the lines of the top 3 of that imager that I showed you? Where he should have, if he is in fact that skillful, should he not have at least made it in the top 10 in a full day's worth of streaming? So, I question the validity of his claims that he is actually legit. But it is up to you and the people out there to decide whether or not this guy is legit. And if his past indicates that he is still on the same path today as he was back in 2015. But I gotta tell you that after making these videos, I have this inner feeling that, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know how I feel. And it makes me feel like this.